Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Moto X Developers Edition for Verizon Wireless. This phone retails for $549.99. You can get it directly from Motorola, and essentially what you're looking at here is an unlocked device, and it's dubbed a Developers Edition because that means you're going to retain your warranty even if you unlock the bootloader and do all sorts of customization. Now, this is a phone that certainly isn't designed for everyone. That's what the regular Moto X is for, and the Developer's Edition is more expensive for that reason because you will not be getting that warranty protection if you decide to unlock the bootloader on your carrier subsidized handset that you got included with that new contract that you took on. So the Moto X is really a great phone from a lot of different angles for a lot of different customers, and it really does represent the entire new business model that Google has, in my opinion, given Motorola through their acquisition, which is now coming or getting closer to almost 2 years, a year and a half already. And originally, even to this day, Motorola and Google really do maintain that they are completely separate, and they are technically, but it would be ridiculous not to see that this entire business model shift and what the Moto X represents now to both companies is really the beginning of Motorola becoming Google's very own manufacturing arm. So a value phone that is one size fits all, Motorola ditching the traditional business model that every other phone company carries, where they're trying to make a million different Android phones for a million different customers, which is part of the beauty of Android, but also an Achilles heel. Here we've got a phone that is one size fits all, but doesn't neglect anyone in the process. Rather, we get something that just about everyone will enjoy. It also is far more affordable than other unlocked phones. So that's another advantage. Motorola recently, over the holiday, launched a sale on this. I'm not going to get into that because it was a disaster for them, and that's part of this new restructuring and growing. I'm not trying to in any way write off their mistakes there, because they had a very good opportunity to push a phone that isn't old but still represents one of the best devices on the market and is really attractive because of its price point. So they've gone back to what they get right, which is just making a product that works. And here we have it. You're looking at a 4.7-inch AMOLED display, and that already is something that, in my opinion, makes this phone solid out of the box. This isn't going to be a top-tier phone in terms of specifications, but what it will be is one of the best phones when it comes to the entire overall experience. You're looking at the closest that you can get to a Nexus 5 on Verizon Wireless. Clearly, no Nexus device available on Verizon. We've only had really one shot or two, depending on whether or not you consider the original Droid a Nexus device. And the original Droid was a strong phone. Of course, the Nexus, another story. Here we now have basically what many have been enjoying, as I mentioned, on other carriers, but completely unlocked. You maintain that warranty. 4.7-inch AMOLED, as I just mentioned, black and white finish. This is the only combo you can get with the Developer Edition. 2-megapixel front-facing camera, really clean design if you haven't noticed yet. In terms of the camera on the back, you're looking at a 10-megapixel shooter. A Snapdragon S4 Pro is powering this entire device, which is a competent chip. It's not top of the line. Even at launch, it wasn't top of the line, but it still is far more than you would possibly get from any other mid-range phone, and that's what makes the Moto X unique. 2 gigs of RAM, Bluetooth, GPS. You may have noticed the LED flash as well. Some best-in-class audio. I mean, the phone just does what you want it to do, which is be your phone. Unique voice controls that you won't find anywhere else. And this is part of the reputation Motorola wants to bring back, the one that they earned with the original Droid. Remember, they were a key partner for Google once upon a time, and then they slowly faded away. Now we have them reemerging because, after all, Google felt they were a great property to seize for manufacturing, and here we have, Flextronic, their efforts plus Moto building a phone in the United States. So we've got the power button there, the volume rocker. I mean, just everything's pretty on this phone. It's a handsome looking device. And in terms of size, there's your 3.5mm headphone jack as well as a microphone. It just is the opposite of what we've come to expect these days. And I think for a lot of you, that's going to be a great thing. For others, Not necessarily. I mean, if you must have a Galaxy Note and you need that larger phablet experience, then this isn't what you're looking for. But if you want just a great phone, and that's all this is going to be, and that's not a bad thing. I don't want anybody to misinterpret this. That's what the Moto X promises to give you. So this is the only Moto X that you really can't customize. The entire point of the Moto X lineup is customization. So if you go onto their website, you can, start up their creator and basically choose every color scheme you want. By the way, 720p resolution here, another clear indication that Motorola was not worried about specifications, but rather experience. And that's where you're going to get great battery life out of this phone. It has a 2200 milliamp battery, but it doesn't matter because they've optimized it between the processor, the screen resolution. They've been practical besides actually trying to deliver something that no one else makes. So looking forward to actually using this. It looks like we have about half a charge. Got to get my SIM card in here, but excited because it's not often you can see a phone like this at an affordable price unlocked. I mean, after all, the United States is far from being known for any sort of deals on unlocked phones. Not that in Europe you get a pass, but it is something where right now, this is, in my opinion, the best phone you can buy unlocked. There are other good options for it that are with other carriers like Republic, but for Verizon customers, this is your only option. And Verizon certainly isn't pushing you in this direction by any means. So nice to see this. Let's see what else is in the box. And it's been a while since I've come back to a Motorola phone, and it'll be interesting to see how well it fares. It's all going to be about the experience, as I keep mentioning. Let's see, we've got a notice in here congratulating us on the purchase of the developer edition. And they're telling you that you can unlock its bootloader, as I mentioned earlier in the video, install your own custom software. And they even give you directions. So that's why this is called the Developer's Edition. It's for people that are either going to develop or just want to be able to be free of having to worry about the carrier being upset with the fact that they're modifying equipment that the consumer, most of you think you own, but the carrier is still looking at it like until the contract is up, that thing's really on loan, which it technically is, and that's why early termination fees still exist. But they even tell you it's not for the faint of heart, which I agree it's not, but if you are a little bit computer savvy, or even if you aren't, as long as you're willing to spend the time to actually read what you need to do, it's not that difficult. I don't recommend it to everyone. In fact, I think most users will just love the Moto X as it is right out of the box. Incredibly clean. It's giving you the Nexus experience, even though Motorola will continue to deny that, that is what the brand is becoming. It's pretty clear. And as I mentioned before, everything's made in the US. That was another chief or key difference in the business model. Now manufacturing based out of Texas. So pretty cool to own a piece of technology made in the US, especially one that's one of the best out there. And I think this phone is a bit of a sleeper, even though it has gotten a lot of praise. Micro USB charging cable, our little wall adapter for that charging cable, and you can see we actually have 2 USB ports on it, so that's nice of Moto. Can at least extend, and then I believe we've got a SIM card in here, and that's it. So that covers it. Clean packaging, a clean device with a really nice screen, a lot going for it. And I think that there's really just a lot to like. And I think that's why the Moto X has done really well. You can pick it up now free with a lot of carriers, or the direct customize application on Moto's site will run you, I believe, $99. So it's still a really inexpensive phone if you're willing to take on a contract. It's still an inexpensive phone if you want it unlocked, because if I was going to move to something like the Note 3, you're looking at a lot more money for, yes, some more performance, but a lot of people could argue that if you're comfortable with this phone size, you're getting an entirely different beast. And clearly, as many fans as there may be out there of overlays, there are a lot of people who just want that Nexus experience. So again, this is as close as to a Nexus 5 for Verizon Wireless. That's why I'm sharing it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.